Hi everyone, this is Dr. Hudwin. This is going to be a video where I will show you how to put in orders um, and different ways to put in orders, including putting in orders for medications, therapeutic injections, diagnostic imaging, and labs, and even referrals. And so when we get started, I'll show you how to get to these different places you can put in an order. So ECW has a lot of different locations where you are able to do that. One of them is through this order screen here, which shows you all the orders you have, but it gives you the quick order, which is also in the progress note. You can put in orders if you click in the treatment section, and it'll take you to this area where you click under RX, and it also gives you the quick order section. Or you can hit add and add a new order for um, RX, labs, diagnostic imaging. Um, and so it'll take you to this screen, which is the order screen for a new medication. And so let's back up a little bit. So before we put in an order, so we'll start with medications. Before we put in a medication order, we need to put in an assessment. And so Uh, there's different places to enter assessments as well. I like to enter it through here just because I try to stay within this window. It's faster for me, and you don't have a lot of that time delay when you click and open up new windows. And so let's do otitis media in this patient. So if you write otitis media, if you hit go to treatment, it'll take you to the treatment section and pull up this quick search, which is almost exactly the same as this. And so I'm going to show you up here. So we've already put in the assessment. Sometimes it doesn't pop up, so I want to make sure that I refresh here just so that it updates the assessment. That only is necessary on this page. For some reason, it doesn't update. And so let's do amoxicillin. And when you type it in, it starts the search, and it'll give you different formulations of amoxicillin and different versions of it. And here are a list of assessments. And so let's click this assessment. Before you click anything over here, you want to start here. And this will link whatever you put in the order into the assessment. If you forget, I do all the time, it doesn't matter, you can add it later, it just saves you a step. And so another piece of it is that when you search here, it'll give you these filters, and we'll talk about that later when you need to order different things. And so this is for prescriptions, labs, diagnostic imaging, procedures, and therapeutic injections. And so for now, I'm going to click amoxicillin. And so it takes you to this window. So there's different formulations of amoxicillin. And so these are the ones that I already favorited. And again, I recommend favoriting things because it really speeds things up. And I'll show you how that works later. But for now, before we'll choose one that isn't favorited. Click on the little pen or pencil icon, and it takes you to this. And so this is the window where you specify what you want with your medications. And so let's do 1 tablet oral twice a day, and we'll do 7 days, and it should calculate it on its own. Sometimes it doesn't, and then refills. Make sure you fill every single section here, because otherwise it will give you an error when you try to send, including the type of what to dispense. So it has to be tablets. If you just put 14, it'll give you an error. And so if you need to do as needed, you can click here. And then in this section, say you had multiple diagnoses, you can change the diagnosis to something else. Or you can add a new diagnosis if you wanted to, and it'll take you to this window where you can add a new diagnosis and link it. Um, and then I would add it to favorite if it's something that you're going to use more than once. And so another trick is that you can add it to favorite, like that, and then say you want to also add the 500 milligram version as well. Now you click on the 500 here or whatever different version. Make sure everything is accurate, and then just hit add to favorite. And so you can add all of the different versions. And this is especially useful if you're using a medication like uh, Synthroid, where you have the same uh, instructions with just different dosages. And so you just click through all of them and just add them all. That way you can find it easier in the future. And so let's go back to our standard, make sure everything's okay. It'll ask you to put pharmacy here. I wouldn't bother in this screen just because there's an easier way to do it. And so hit OK. Don't worry about this. It's just a warning because this encounter is a few days old. And so that added amoxicillin to my treatment. And so let's add a different medication. Let's add, so we'll add two just so I can demonstrate. And so this is at the top because it's one of my starred medications. If you want to filter it only by starred medications, you click the star here and it'll show you things that have been favorited. And so let's favorite that. Okay. And so that's one way to add in a medication. You can also do it through here. You click the orders in this section, it'll show you your orders. And here you can also add a new diagnosis and manage your orders. So it takes you another quick order screen, which is almost the exact same as where we were before. Um, and so in this section, you can delete prescriptions that you may have put in that you didn't want. So if you put those orders in, you'll see that there's a 3 down here next to the send button, and this will tell you what is still pending, so the pending orders. And so we got 3 medications here that are pending. If you click on it, it'll show you. Don't worry about this. This is something I was messing with earlier. And so we have these 3 medications that need to be sent. So when you put all of those in, it's just still under pending until you hit the send button. And when you hit the send button, it will still take you to this screen where you have to select the pharmacy, etc. And so to a while ago, we had the option to select the pharmacy, but sometimes that doesn't actually work. And so this area is a lot easier to do. Before you select the pharmacy, make sure you click on these, or you can click up here and select all 3. Um, and so after you select those, you can select the pharmacy, click on those 3 dots. So we'll do CVS, Oklahoma City. I'm just going to click the first one and then select pharmacy. And so after that, you make sure you have to hit apply to all, and that applies to the pharmacy. The pharmacies to all the medications. If you are an APP, before you hit apply to, you can put in supervising provider. You can do the search and um, put the supervisor in there and then hit apply to all as well. And so if you want to only apply to 2 out of the 3, you can just select here and then it doesn't send it. You might want to send 1 prescription to a different pharmacy. You can do that as well. And so when you're done, you can hit send and it'll actually send it. I don't want to send this one because it'll actually send a fake patient to the pharmacy. Another thing I forgot to mention is over here, it will tell you, you can select the mode of sending the prescription. And so you can actually print it out. Let's say I want to print this prescription for amoxicillin out and then e-prescribe the prednisone. If you do that, it'll, when you send, a window to print will pop up and allow you to print the prescription. And then when you hit send, this will turn yellow and then eventually turn green. And when it turns green, it means that it's complete. So I'm going to discard this and then I'll delete these for you. And then we'll show the other place to put orders in. So we'll go back to this window. And so we were just putting orders in here. You can click on treatment and put orders in this window. And at this location, you can do prescriptions, labs, diagnostic imaging, procedures, referrals. Um, and so let's try ordering a chest x-ray on this patient. So again, there's different places. You can do it here in the quick order or in the treatment window from the progress note. But again, this is my favorite place to add things, and so I like to do x-ray. Actually, sorry, let's do chest. And so this is a favorited one, and I have this favorited, and if I don't have it favorited, you'll get tons of stuff. And then you'll get medications and stuff too, so you want to filter out, you don't want prescriptions, labs, you just want diagnostic imaging. And so this will be the only thing that pops up. And it'll come down here, and you can click on it to specify more things. And this is also the other place for you to order a chest x-ray. You just go down here and click on diagnostic imaging. It'll take you to this window. So let me erase that, and we'll order it from this window. And this window might give you a little bit more flexibility because you can add a diagnosis as you go along, and so the other one doesn't. So to add a diagnosis here, we'll say shortness of breath. Okay. And so we'll do x-ray. No, sorry, I keep doing that. Chest. And so there's a ton of options here. And you want to specify it more, so that's why you favorite the ones that you like to use. Another important thing here is that you have to make sure you set your default search to contains, and then you can decide whether you want it to look in-house or send out or both. And so this is important because if it's defaults to starts with, and so it'll make the search almost impossible. So hit OK, and again, the favorite will filter it out for you. And so let's click onto that. This exclamation point here designates that it's a stat. So you click that. This designates fasting. It's more relevant when you're talking about labs. And then this right here will transfer it to a future order. And so say you want the patient to do the chest x-ray in 3 months. And so to set the date for the future order, you click on this S right here, and it'll let you select the standing order. So let's say you want it 3 months out. You just click that. You can actually select more than one. You want it 3, 6, and etc. But yeah, hit OK. We're going to delete these and bring it back to today's order. And so this window is actually the exact same window, or it looks the exact same as if you were to order a lab. So let's do that. So you can click over here, you can go in lab, and you can do let's do a CMP. And again, you still have to make sure that this is on contains in both, or send out in-house. So CMP, this is one I already starred, and just click that. And this order is a current order, but if you want to send it to a future order, you can, and then if you want to select it as fasting, you can as well. In the future, say you want to have them take it twice every 3 months, and so you click on this S. You want to do two standing orders and two standing orders every 3 months, and so that gives you May and August. And it's February right now, and so that makes sense. Um, what you'll see is that actually three orders came, and that's if you wanted to do one today and then two more in the future. You can delete whatever one you don't want. And so I'm actually going to delete everything here. And then when you're done with those, you can hit send or just close, and then it'll add it to the send list in here. So next, we're going to go over how to add a therapeutic injection and immunization. So they're both under the same section. And so different ways to get there. You can click up here to go to therapeutic injections. You can go down here, therapeutic injections. You can get there through the treatment window or through the quick order window. For therapeutic injections, the easiest is either up here or through here and through here. So then click on that. It takes you here and you'll see immunizations, etc. But let's add, and it takes you to this window where you can do immunizations or injections. And so let's do depot medrol. There's different selections, but this is the correct one. Those are old. And so this one will let you select the dose. So let's do 40 milligrams. Be careful with the dose number. This is not the dose. This is the multiplier for how many times this is charged. And so depending on how insurance codes it, currently double Meddraw is coded per milligram, but unfortunately the way the system is set up, if you put 40 in here, it'll bill the administration 40 times, at least currently. I don't know if they fixed it or not. So anyway, you can fill out all of this, the route, the location, all this. Your nurse can also fill this out as well. And when they do, they can click me and it changes the status from pending to administered. And you can select the assessment up here and then click billable so that it drops a code. And then if you hit OK, it'll add it to the queue. If you hit save and new, you can add an additional injection. So let's hit OK and see this will pop up. And so exit and you'll see that it increased to 3. And then your nurse can see this pending, click it, and fill out the rest of the information that is needed. Okay. And so the next thing we want to do is put an order in for a referral. So with that, you can also just go into the treatment window, and up here is the referral button. And so you can click on referral, and it'll take you to this window. And then you can refer to a specialty, you can refer to a specific provider or a facility. So let's do pulmonology. And you can fill in the description, the diagnosis. That's not the correct diagnosis. Let's add the correct one. Okay. And then you can hit OK and it'll add it to the queue, or you can hit send and it'll send it um, to whoever is working those referrals for you. And so there it is. And that should be it. And so that's how you put an order in for medications, for injections, x-rays, and labs. So I think the quick order is the easiest way to put in medication orders for imaging, therapeutic injections, labs. Um, it's probably easier to go through either this section or up here, just because there's a little bit more flexibility. But if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, good luck.